Hey guys, Jacob here. If you guys are not aware, they talked about State of the Game, which this video will be going up a day after State of the Game because I did not want to give you guys just tons of flooded information. So I combined this kind of into a short video and talk about some of the things he did talk about. The main one is going to be recalibration, which is a big one I know a lot of you guys are going to be really excited for. Also talking about some of these skill changes, a new talent, and a brand set that has been changed, which I'll get into that as well. The main thing, which I'm going to start with, is recalibration, which I know a lot of you guys have been wanting recalibration changes for the longest time. First of all, no optimization station. That's not something they've talked about, but they have talked about something that a lot of you guys have been wanting for a while now, and that's actually going to be able to cut down on some of the items you have in your stash box. And they haven't increased it, but they have done something that really makes me happy. And a few other YouTubers have actually thought this would be a good idea. One person who said the most was Cold Boy, who actually talked about this a while back, and I agreed with him on this. I thought it was a really great idea, which I thought they would do this maybe later on down the road, but it seems that they have done it. And that's going to be extracting gear. And this is pretty much going to allow you to use a piece of gear you want, but that way you don't have to keep tons of loot in your stash box. So you'll be able to extract a piece of gear from something. So you guys will see right here on the screen they're showing from defensive to utility and offensive and defensive. So you guys all three have here, but you can see where it says extracted right here. So you might have something that's a little bit better, and if you don't really want that piece, you could just pick up the piece of gear and actually take off the core attribute from that, and you could actually just take the talent. So you can just take talents off of things now and actually put them away, so that way you can just, I don't need this piece anymore. I can just flat out deconstruct this but keep the talent, and that's pretty much what they're doing. And to me personally, I think this is a great idea because it's going to improve your gear. You'll have some really good rolls, but that's destroying the item. So you guys know it does destroy it, obviously, but you will be able to have the stat. So if you guys find a really high armor stat and want to roll this onto, like, say, your mask, a vest, or something like that in the future, or even knee pads or something, but you can actually just take the stat off instead of cluttering your stash full of all these items. So even if you have stuff in there right now and you're like, I'm gonna get rid of this because it's gonna be useless in the next update, but essentially you can now, if you have some of the high roll, take it off of there and use it on something else, which I know a lot of you guys for a long time have wanted something like this because there's tons of legacy items, as you guys know, who saved them back in the day. And some of you guys might even have characters from back in when the game first came out that just have 30% total armor rolls and 15% weapon damage vests, and they're just absolutely stacked full of stuff. So you can have those for future stuff, or future builds, and keep those sets. And some people don't even have those items because they are legacy items, and you can only get them for a certain amount of time. But me personally, I think this is a great idea due to the fact that it allows players to not have to waste space, and you guys can actually just go up and see if you see an item you want. You could pick it up and just take the stat off there and roll it on to something completely different, and you really don't have to worry about it anymore. It's gone. But it does just deconstruct it, but you still will get the talent off there, and you could be able to roll this onto future gear. So if you max out a piece, you'll have that stat roll, and you could always just roll it on like a god roll piece and save it, or just constantly do stuff like that. Now, the next thing is going to be this high-end backpack, which this is the Wyvern backpack that I actually want to discuss with you guys. And this is something that I know a lot of people are going to be really upset about, and that's the change to Wyvern. Wyvern is now a little bit different. You guys will see it's now skill damage, status effect, and skill duration. The core attribute on here is a skill tier, and you can see that it's +1, so you can see their tiers are going up. And you can see it has skill haste and skill damage in an empty utility mod slot. Now, the next thing is going to be based around something called Overcharge. This is the talent Energize. While you use an armor kit, it grants +1 skill tier for 15 seconds. If you're already at skill tier 6, it will grant something called Overcharge. Which, if you guys are not familiar with Overcharge, that's something new they also talked about as well, which is basically based around, say you have something like the max skill, and you're like, what can I really do? Can I use this? So if you're a big skill build player, essentially you can use this, and it will allow your skills to have something called an overcharge, which will allow your skills to go absolutely crazy. If you guys did not watch Stay of the Game, they showed a clip of Firecrest, which I will be showing a little bit later on, where I think if I remember correctly, they have an overcharge, and it's literally going left to right, like it's a Pokemon, fire. It's just blowing flames or a dragon. It's pretty crazy, and it reminds me of Firecrest from the first game. So if you guys are a fan of the fire turret, it seems that it'll be being used probably a lot more due to stuff like this in the next update, which I have to say again is not this update. It's the update after this one, which will be a little bit later on down the road. Also, this is Wyvern a little bit more. You can see they do have a few pieces here. This is based on Murakami and Wyvern of a skill style build, but you can see how many yellows they have and how the skill tier system works and how much stuff he has rolled and spec'd into his build. But it seems like if you guys are going to want to make a skill build, it seems this is the brand set you guys are going to look at and probably use a few pieces of these, and also use some maybe other brand sets that might be skill based. We're not 100% sure what they are. We know Wyvern is now skill based, and Providence and Sokolov are now DPS, so they haven't said what stuff like DNH and Alp Summit and all these holdings are yet, so maybe those might be something a little bit different later down the road. And we will see. So you can expect those to maybe be DPS, or they might be more tank. So I'm guessing Alp Summit might be a tank style brand set, but who knows. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is going to be the turret, which you guys will see here. There are different tiers. Each tier represents the the damage, the health, and skill health, and you can see by the tier 1, 2, and 3. That's kind of the new system they're working on, and it'll change depending on which tier you have, and will affect like the turret, and pretty much every skill you use will be different from now on when you use these sets. So if you want to make a true build, you can now use it's just skill damage. There's no, from what I've seen, there's no explosive damage anymore. There's no batteries anymore, and you can pretty much just spec into something you really want. This is the clip I wanted to show you guys that they showed. This is the new fire turret, which I know some people don't like the old one, or they miss the old one. They don't like the new current one, and this is the new one, which to me is just, it's insane. When I first saw this, I was like, damn, that's that's a fire turret to me, and it seems like you can make a lot of crowd control style builds with this. So if you're fighting NPCs, you can burn them, or if you're in the DZ and you go into a really tight alleyway, and multiple people have one of these, or just a teammate has one, and you just walk around the corner and throw it, you can just burn some people like old school Firecrest. Now, this is the stuff about the mods I was going to talk about as well. You can see the skill mods and all the other empty, they're all empty, but now you don't need any requirements for them, so it seems that you can just put these on your skills, and you can just get the bonus from them, so you don't really have to worry about speccing into something anymore. Now you will just get the brand set bonuses, and also you can just put a mod on here and it will increase pretty much what it is from the output from the hive. So if you want more healing, you could have like a healing mod that's a little bit higher, so you could essentially max it out a little bit more to make it a little bit better. But overall, I'm really happy with these changes, and I can't wait to see what they bring next week as well, and also I can't wait to see what they talk about the new specialization. But that's pretty much the recap for State of the Game in a really short video. But thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Division 2 content, and I'll catch you guys all later.